Greetings and happy day, and welcome to the doc. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're doing super, super, super fantastic. And today we're going to talk about internal locus of control. And so I am Dr. Cherry, the CEO Whisperer, and the person who is delighted to be here with you on the doc. I think that we all need a place to go, a place to relax, and a place to really connect. And here in the Unthinkable Mind community, I call that place the dock for us because this is the place where you can bring your boat and get refreshed. I'm asking you to please invite your friends and invite other people to be in this dock with us to continue to learn how to build calm in chaos. Yes, there's a lot going on, and many times it feels like everything, everywhere, all at once. And that is what we're really making sure that we are well beings, and through no matter what happens, that we are looking out for ourselves. And that brings me to the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. As an organizational psychologist, a master certified executive coach, and someone who has been working with people for decades, one of the most important principles is something that's called internal locus of control. A locus of control is really about what you have control of. And it's different than like the circle of influence that Stephen Covey talks about. But because that is really about all of these other things are happening and I can control this part. But when you start to think about an internal versus an external locus of control, it's really about you taking ownership of what happens. So we know based on the science, people who have an internal locus of control tend to be more successful, tend to have less anxiety, and tend to feel as if whatever happens to them, they have more control. So, people who have an external locus of control do things like they say that they're late, and do they take responsibility for being late? Never. It's always the traffic. And so the traffic made them late. And that means that they have an external locus of control. They're looking for things on the outside of them to blame instead of saying, hey, I am in control of me, I am in control of my mind, and therefore my results. The traffic was bad, but I had the opportunity to try to leave earlier or do something else. And that's one of the things that really happens with people who have an internal locus of control. They are internally controlling, or at least they are taking responsibility for the things that are happening in their lives. And so, whatever it is, and many times I say to my clients, it really doesn't matter if it's true or not. It is very helpful for you to decide, I made this choice. And because in order for you to change it, you need to choose it. And so, if particularly with younger people, when they are in college and they didn't do well on a test, they want to say the teacher made the test hard. And it's important for us to help them and to start to understand or ask the questions like, what part did you play in it? Did you stay out all night right before the test? And that's another social psychological term that's actually called self-handicapping. But that's another thing for another time. But we want to make sure that if they didn't do well on the test, that they recognize that there were things that they could have done differently, and therefore they could have gotten better results. In life, you have excuses or you have results, and it's very hard to have both. And so you can either be on what we call the cause side of it equation or the effect. And the cause side is about thinking that you are a powerful being and you are helping the universe with things. You're helping to make some choices. You and infinite intelligence. It's like, hey, I am responsible for what's happening rather than doing this right here, allowing this finger to point at you and forgetting these three are pointing back at me. It's about me. I chose this. And so anytime we point the finger, one is pointing at you on this camera, but normally three are pointing back at me. So I can't say he made me mad, she made me angry, because I am the person who is responsible for that. So I'm internally taking control. And when you internally take control, that actually does help you. And in that equation, three are pointing back. Me, I am in control of me. And that other person has very little to do with you. And that third piece, your thumb here, is going up to the source, God, the universe, to really help you. So it's really four parts over one. So no person can or should, hopefully, consistently be able to make you do something. They did not make you mad. We chose to be mad. Stimulus and response in life don't come like this. A stimulus is presented, and then there's a pause. And in that pause, then you have choice. Stimulus is presented, gap, pause, choice, right? And so it's not stimulus response together. So I'm hopeful that that is helpful to you as you're going about your day, to start asking yourself, what part of this can I take credit for, or can I choose to change, so that you are in the driver's seat? If you are a passenger in your own life, you won't be able to get the results and continue to have and build an amazingly unsinkable mind. Believe me, I know stuff happens, things happen. So many things have happened to me. And so I don't ever want you to think, oh my gosh, she hasn't been through anything. If I started to tell you all the things that I've been through, we wouldn't be able to end tonight. But I will say that when I was, young, and even when I was in high school, I was running for something. I don't even remember exactly what it was. But when it got to me, they booed me. And it was kind of funny to me because I always had an internal locus of control. And so I'm thinking externally, huh? This was before Obama, so I couldn't say, don't boo vote. I'm like, okay, well, if you don't want me, that's on you. But it has nothing to do with me. You see, what other people say about you or what other people think about you has nothing to do with you. You've got to be responsible for your everything and therefore your results. You are responsible for your mind and therefore your results. So when people did whatever they were doing at that time, I just continued to be myself because I came to the earth to do this work. I wanted to do it from 5 years old until today. So I wasn't concerned, and I don't get concerned because I'm not for everybody, as nor should you be. But when you start to have an internal locus of control, you're able to start to make those choices for yourself, and you don't have the fear of missing out. FOMO isn't your thing because you're able to say, hey, that's not for me. And it's just fine that it isn't. So, again, thank you for being here. Hopefully, these messages are helpful to you. Look up The Unsinkable Mind on Facebook and join us in the dock. Our purpose is to continue to build minds that understand that a boat does not sink because of the water that is around it. It only sinks from what gets inside. And so, what we want to do is make sure that we're not letting negativity and letting things get in our mind that we don't want or need. We want to make sure that we are controlling and we have an internal locus of control where we're saying, I'm choosing to be upset. And there are times when you need to be upset, but it has to be your choice. Thank you very much. Have an extremely powerful day.